What is up, guys? Rick Hackus here, and with the release of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 just around the corner, I wanted to go over how best to power level your character in Black Ops 3, how to get to that max prestige as quickly as possible. Now, I know pretty much every YouTuber and their grandma is going to be making one of these videos, how to level up fast in Call of Duty. But frankly, some of the techniques utilized in this video, I guarantee some of the bigger name Call of Duty YouTubers are gonna ignore. Now, without further ado, let's get started, and let's start out with weapons. Now, when it comes to leveling up as quickly as possible, utilizing different weapons, it actually is pretty unique because there is a balance between switching weapons and getting experience for different weapons and accomplishing different challenges for different weapons, and sticking with the same weapon to try to get the larger experience challenges for a certain weapon. And let me give you an example. Like, first off, you're gonna want to pick a weapon that you like. For me, I loved the Man of War assault rifle, so I would unlock that right away, utilize that gun, and a good keystone is utilize that weapon until you've unlocked all of the different attachments for that weapon. Every attachment you unlock along the way while utilizing that weapon is going to give you an experience bonus as you unlock it up to the very last attachment. In the background, you're also going to be accomplishing more challenges for this weapon, like Man of War kills part 1, 2, 3, whatever, and they reward you with extra experience when you get, 25 kills with it, 50 kills, 100 kills, etc. Now again, a big mistake a lot of people make is that they switch weapons too early. They unlock a few attachments for the Man of War and then move on to another gun, let's say. Again, that's not what you want to do, because the further along in your progression of using a weapon, the more experience you're actually going to get when you get a challenge. You'll get a lot more experience for unlocking the last attachment for weapon than you will for the very first attachment. But again, once you've unlocked all of the attachments for a certain weapon, that's usually a good time to jump ship. Obviously, go into your challenges, and if you're 5 kills away from getting the 150 kills with this weapon challenge, obviously use it until you get that challenge. But again, you're probably going to want to jump ship, because it's going to end up that, let's say you're at 250 kills with the Man of War, and then the next challenge is for getting 500 kills with the Man of War. Although that next challenge is going to net you a ton of experience for getting 500 kills. These are all hypothetical numbers, by the way, but the time it's going to take you to go from one challenge to the next, getting a 250 extra kills or 100 extra kills, or however many lots of kills it's going to take to complete the next challenge along the road, that amount of kills is probably better spent on an entirely different weapon that you haven't used, and then you're unlocking attachments for it along the way, and you're just netting a lot more experience along the way as well. So again, utilize a weapon that you enjoy up till you've unlocked its very last attachment, jump ship, and go on to the next weapon. You also want to make sure that you're sometimes switching up the weapon categories. Although you may love assault rifles, you want to use an SMG or a light machine gun every once in a while you're doing this. Why is that? It's because there's specific challenges for using an SMG and getting SMG kills and SMG headshots, etc. And you're going to miss out on these challenges if all you use is assault rifles. This mindset of utilizing a certain weapon for a little bit and then switching off is also what you're going to want to do for equipment. If you've been using frags for a long time, maybe randomly halfway through the prestige, switch to Semtex, and again, that's just going to keep your challenges and your experience bonuses flowing. In addition, don't forget to switch up specialists as well. There's specialist related challenges, so if you use the same specialist for the entire prestige, you're again missing out on a ton of potential experience. Now let's move on to the best game type for getting tons of experience, and what I believe is the best game type for ranking up extremely fast is Safeguard, and here's why. Now, when people are thinking about the best game type to level up fast in Call of Duty, and this is a mistake often the bigger Call of Duty YouTubers make, they often just look at the amount of experience you get in a match. If you end the match with 10,000 experience and another game type, you're often ending the match with 9,000 experience, most people are going to say, okay, the 10,000 experience at the end of the match game is better, but that's actually not the case. Getting, let's say, on average 250 more experience at the end of a match of Hardpoint than of Safeguard doesn't make Hardpoint better than Safeguard. And again, here's why. You don't want to be getting the most experience, you want to be getting the most stuff done. You're looking for the game type where the most stuff can happen. That sounds really weird and really dumb, but let me explain my reasoning. Getting a little bit of extra experience at the end of the match really isn't going to level you up as much, not even close to as much, as completing a ton of different challenges. And although you may actually be able to get more points in a round from, let's say, Hardpoint because you get 250 experience every time you're hopping on that objective, you're not doing as much stuff, you're not accomplishing as much challenges as you would on Safeguard. Safeguard, where you guard the robot from one side of the map to the other, is just going to allow so many things to happen. When you throw a grenade on Safeguard, since there's one singular objective the entire game, Hardpoints can move around. You can sometimes just kind of miss out on a hard point, you know, the enemy, it spawns where the enemy is spawning and they kind of post up there and you never really even get close to that hard point and you've got to wait for another one. Let's say the same thing can happen in Domination or whatever, but with Safeguard, since there's one objective, there's one place on the map where every player is accumulating, so much stuff can happen. Again, throwing a grenade can get you 3 kills easily, shooting a rocket launcher can get you a few kills, throwing Semtex, C4, just shooting. Often in a game of Safeguard, a player will end with like 25 kills and they're in the middle of the match. Like they're in the middle of the scoreboard, maybe even towards the bottom, and they'll still have 25, 26 kills easily. And again, that's what you're looking for, because these kills, these grenade kills, these ability kills, these melee kills, these specialist kills are all working towards your challenges, completing challenges for all these different types of equipment, for weapons and whatever else. And because Safeguard is a game type that allows for, firstly, a ton of kills to be gotten within a single game. I've gotten and I've seen many players get upwards of 100 kills in a single match of Safeguard. And secondly, it's very easy to get kills. Again, even the players near the bottom of the scoreboard are still getting the same amount of kills that would be considered good in a match of Team Deathmatch. Now, with that being said, you also need to have the same concept of switching it up. And this is something that, again, tons of people ignore. They say the best game type is blank, play it all the time, but that's absolutely not the case. You again get challenges for doing the different game types. You get challenges for doing Team Deathmatch, for doing Domination, Hardpoint, etc. So even though I think the best place to level up is Safeguard, for every once in a while, you're going to want to switch it up. You're going to want to do Domination for a couple of games in a row or for a day or whatever, and then go back to Safeguard, because switching up those game types, again, your goal is challenges. The best way, the quickest way to level up in Call of Duty is completing as much challenges as quickly as possible. So in summary, when using weapons and equipment and specialists, make sure to utilize those things until you've gotten a lot of challenges from them, but then switch it up. Don't get tied into your favorite weapon and ignore the massive amount of experience that would be gained by switching weapons or switching equipment, etc. But also don't abandon a weapon or equipment extremely quickly, because you'll also miss out on experience gained. The best game type for experience gained is Safeguard. Having a singular objective that everyone is going for is going to make it extremely easy for even mediocre players to get a lot of kills. And kills equal challenges, challenges equal experience, experience equals master prestige. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please remember to rate and share this video, it really helps me out. And if you want to see more Black Ops content, or maybe even some Destiny content, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter. That's linked in the description below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can follow as well. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.